here at AlishaAshley.com, and today I am just very excited about my life. Last night we had a team hangout, and it was just so amazing just to see how people have actually come from ground zero to the highest mountain. It's just ridiculous and amazing. And I'm just so blessed to be placed in a position that I'm placed in to help others, get out of that, that grind and stuff. Like this morning I took one of my friends to work, and I'm just sitting in the car, as I'm driving and stuff when I'm coming back. And I'm just looking at all the traffic that there is to go to work. People are flying down the street, not using no turn signals, cutting people off, just racing, just hurry up and trying to get to work. My thing is, you know what time you gotta be at work, so why didn't you leave out the house in enough time to give you so you don't have to rush, because it only takes a split second for an accident to happen and somebody's life be gone. But I'm just so blessed that it's been almost a year, September the 12th, where I actually left my job, my so-called government job. Bunch of bullcrap, but whatever. Left that job, and now I'm just on this financial road to better and better and better. I'm just so thankful that God has placed this opportunity in my life so that I don't have to go to a job. I used to go to work. I had to get up at 5 o'clock, but I pushed the alarm clock so many times until like 5:40. My commute wasn't that bad. The commute, I had to drive from home to the station to catch the train to work, and the commute was only 15 minutes from the station to work. But from the commute from my house to the station may have been about 10 minutes, if that. So I had to leave out the house in enough time to actually get to work on time. I didn't have a specific time to get to work. My old organization was between 6:30 and 3:20, but my stupid supervisor didn't allow me to come in at 6:30 because she was scheming, and I've caught her several times. So one day I asked her, I said, Miss Peter, or whatever her name was, could I come in at 6:30 because I have stuff to do after work? And she always told me no. She said no. The earliest you could come in at 6:50. And I thought about that, and I was like, 6:50? Who the fuck goes to work at that time? 6:50? Like, that's a random time. Like, why not just 7 o'clock? But I said, all right, whatever. Cool. So I started getting to work at 6:50. So sometimes I would get to work earlier than 6:50, sometimes 6:30, and I'll just be sitting around just waiting to go into the office, because I'm not going to sign in and start working if I'm not getting paid for it. It don't work like that. I'm not giving no free time out. It just don't work like that. So I've come in several times, and sometimes I actually drove to work. And it was one of these times where, what time was it? It was like 6:40, and I'm coming down the street, and I see my supervisor coming down the street too. I'm like, what is she doing? So I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. So, I see her coming to work, but this is 6:40. So I had plenty of time to get into the office by 6:50. But I get into the office, and she has signed in at 6:30, and I'm like, that's a lie, because you weren't here. I seen you on the street. I'm not stupid. But she didn't see me, so this continued several times. And nobody paid attention to me. I think I told my director, because I thought it was stupid, because when I applied for this job, I didn't have a set schedule. But now all of a sudden I can't come in at 6:30? Why? I didn't understand that. So I told her, but she didn't do anything about it. So I was like, whatever. I just got to get up out of here. And you know what? On September the 12th of last year, 2012, I just got fed the hell up. I went to lunch. I went to lunch at 1. I normally I normally used to go to lunch at 1 because by the time I come back at 2, I don't have much time left because I was getting off at 3:20. So I came back from lunch and I think I was about 10 minutes late. And I came in and everybody was around my desk because I was like the administrative officer of the office. And, I sat right in the front. So I came into the office and both of them are sitting there, my director and my supervisor, my immediate supervisor. So both of them are sitting there and they're like, where you been? I'm like, I've been at lunch. And she was like, do you know what time it is? I was like, of course, I know what time it is. I always have my cell phone with me. I'm just getting smart as I don't know what. Because I just felt like, I just really had enough. So she's like, well, do you know what time it is? I'm like, yeah, I know what time it is. Then she said, well, come into my office. We need to have a talk. And I'm like, for what? I have stuff that I need to do. So she said, okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll have a conversation tomorrow. And that conversation right there just pissed me the heck off because I left the office that day and I just felt with rage. Like, I already had a business online that, was making money. But I'm like, you know what? If I put all of my attention into my business, where would I be? So that was the last day they saw me, was September the 12th, on a Thursday. Who leaves on a Thursday? That's how you know I was ready to go. I was ready. I was actually plotting for an entire year. I just checked my emails not too long ago for my resume letter, and I had several resume letters that I had typed up. One was in January. One was it was in January and it would say, my last day will be January 31st or something. Then I had one in March and I said my last day would be in February. Like, I really had this planned out, but I just kept pushing it and pushing it. But I just couldn't take it no more. So I left. And I already had my resume typed up. And matter of fact, I had already had all of my stuff because last year I was just so fed up. And I did it so calm and so organized. I would come to work every day, and every day I'm taking home stuff. I took down all my pictures. I'm taking little by little pieces of my belongings home because I didn't want to be there anymore. I hated that job. I hated it with a passion. And it wasn't really the job, it was the people that I work with because my job was amazing. I met so many different people, like people from all around the world. They would come to our office to do research. Or come to the organization to do research. And it was just so amazing just to have them, come and meet them. People from China, UK, Brazil, different parts of the United States. And I was meeting people every day and I've always built a relationship with them. And I noticed that I was really a people person, and my business is a people person business. So I was just amazed, that I met all these people, but it wasn't the job, it was the people that I worked with and for. And they just took advantage of me. And I just couldn't take it no more. It's just like you got a big cup and it's just filling up with water. And this is how I was every day. Every day was filling up with water. And it was just getting on my everlasting nerves. And I couldn't take it no more, so I left. That was my best thinking. And my best thinking, I'm so grateful for my best thinking. Because while working at that job, I had headaches. You know what? I don't even call them headaches. I had migraines, excruciating migraines, where I had to go to a specialist. And when I went to the specialist, I had to type up all of the medications that I've ever taken for these migraines. And I had at least 25 medications listed. Do you know, to this day, I don't take any medication because I don't have no headaches. So when I left that job and after a week, I'm like, I feel a little different. I was feeling happier. I didn't have no headaches whatsoever. I didn't have nobody nagging me. My cell phone wasn't ringing. She would call my cell phone sometimes while I'm on lunch break and ask me to pick up stuff from another building. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm on lunch. Don't call me. I'm on lunch. But it just really got to the point where I was just so fed up. I couldn't take this shit no more. So I left. And that was my best thinking. And I am so truly blessed that God is in my life, because I don't know where I would be. If I was there, God knows what I would do to her. But I'm just blessed. I don't have to see her. I don't have to call her. I don't have to talk to her. None of that stuff. She was just a nagging person that just got on my nerves. But now I'm in peace with myself. After leaving, I've got really creative. Well, I think I was always creative, but my creativeness came out so much. Like, I do my own nails now. I'm like really good at it. I know how to do makeup. I'm really good at that. You know, doing eyebrows and, you know, eyelashes and stuff like that. I'm really good at it. And I recently learned how to do braids. And I actually know how to put extensions and weaves and stuff and all that. I know how to do all that stuff. But when I was working at that job, when I left the end of the day, even though I was getting off kind of early, I was still drained. I would come home every day and take a freaking nap. Wake up, be up for a couple hours, go back to sleep, and dread going to work. It was ridiculous. I just hope that, you know, this video has really inspired you. You know, don't let nobody take your dream. Don't let nobody bring you down to their level just because they're miserable. Don't do it. It's ridiculous. Don't do it. We're not put on this earth to strive and, you know, to work for somebody else until we dead. Like, that job that I was working in since I was in high school. I actually started off as a work study. And a work study is a student from high school, you know, in their last year, like their 12th grade year, senior year, they can come in and actually work part-time. So I was working part-time, and I was actually going to go to school, but plans didn't happen the way I wanted it to for college. So I ended up taking online classes on the computer, which was good because I was still able to work a job, and then I would come home and do homework. But that got tired real fast. It got real tiring. But I'm just glad, you know, I was able, you know, I appreciate the opportunity because I've learned so much because, you know, I was working there since I was in high school. But it's just over time, she changed. The office changed. You know, the people changed. It was like, it wasn't the same people that was there when I first started. That office has been rotated out about 3 to 5 times. It's ridiculous. But I'm going to end this video because I know I've been rambling and rambling. But I just want to inspire you that if it's something out there that you want to do, don't let a job hold you down. Another quick story. So while I was working at this job, American Idol auditions came up. And I wanted to go. And I didn't have any leave at the time because I was still, actually I had just got converted to full-time employee, temporary full-time employee. And I had asked my supervisor, I was like, could I take leave without pay? Because I really want this opportunity. And she told me no. But I ended up going anyway. But it's just a simple fact that, you know, nobody wants to see you succeed. You know, if they're not succeeding, they want to keep you down at ground zero with them. Like, it's lonely down here. You might as well stay down here with us. And it shouldn't be like that. Then another incident I had, I was going to go to the Marvin Sapp. I was going to go perform for Marvin Sapp, you know, the gospel singer. There was actually an audition. And I think the audition was in Chicago sometime last year. And I had to leave this time. And I asked, could I go? And she said no. And she told me that if I had called in sick, that I would get written up. So, it's just the stupid things like that. So, don't let nobody hold you down. Don't let nobody take away your dream. Be yourself and encourage others. And check out the link in this video to see what I'm actually doing now to supplement my income and make much more than that job, all that stress, headaches, all that stuff. Click the link below and I will see you all later. I hope you all have an amazing, blessed, audacious, super day. Stop letting go.